Game of our crosstown inner-city doubleheader rivalry between Florida Memorial University and St. Thomas University. Brian Fulford and A.D. Drew here
and good
for.
evening to you, Brian.
What did I say?
You said afternoon. It is 7:24 local time.
It is the evening. So good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us for this contest. Two schools no further than 2 miles apart from each other. And this is a rivalry. St. Thomas, though, has won the last 6 games in this rivalry, although the last 2 games in the beginning career of the first season under Florida Memorial head coach Ansar Alamin, they've been close ball games, Drew. 94-91 overtime and a 76-72 ball game. Both of those games won by St. Thomas, but this has been a close contest, no doubt. Drew, let's get into the starting lineups. I'll start first with St. Thomas University. Number 1, Amon Ellington, a redshirt freshman, 5'10", from Hoover High School in Alabama, if I'm not mistaken, most likely.
Yes, that's the Birmingham area.
Number 2, Antoine Joe, a redshirt senior, 6 foot, from Miami, Florida, Archer High School. Number 13, Dante Pace, 6 foot sophomore from Miami, Columbus High School. Previously went to Johnson & Wales University. Number 23, Dwayne Russell, 6'8" senior forward from Jacksonville, Florida. Most recently went to Robert Morris University. And number 33, Quintarius Jones, a 6'8" senior from South Carolina. Previously went to Eastern Michigan University. For the Lions, their starting lineup: number 0, Muhammad Gilchrist, a 6'1" sophomore from College Park, Maryland. Number 12, Sam Mack Jr., a 6'4" senior guard from Chicago, Illinois. Number 13, Sheikh Kabe, the 6'9" forward from the Bronx, New York. Previously went to Miami-Dade College. Number 14, Ebenezer Abu Gaye. Make sure we say that right. Number 6'8" senior center from Ghana, also went to Miami-Dade College. And number 24, Quincy Urbina, a 6'7" junior guard from Los Angeles, California, went to City College of San Francisco. Notable not starting, Drew, from Florida Memorial. Are you a little surprised by that?
Yes, and looking over at the bench, not quite sure if I see Bubashar Ali over on the bench right now, Brian.
First team all-conference last year, preseason first team this year.
He had 11 and 8 on Thursday night also, Brian.
That's right. Coming into this ball game, St. Thomas comes into this ball game with a record of 1-1, 1-0 in conference, and right off the bat is Quintarius Jones with a nice move to the bucket. Florida Memorial 0-1 off the conference opening loss on Thursday. I believe that was Thursday night.
Yes.
In the corner is Gilchrist. 3-point attempt, no good. That ball is going to stay Florida Memorial ball.
Brian, one thing this Florida Memorial team does not lack is size, Brian. Even without the 7-foot Ali in the lineup, who has a lot of NBA scouts looking at him. You've got Sheikh KB at 6'9", you've got Abagaye at 6'8", and you've got Urbina sitting at 6'7". So they've got enough size to go around there, Brian.
There's Urbina trying to push his way in. They're going to call him with a foul, as he was a little too aggressive trying to force his way into that shot. Head coach for St. Thomas, D.P. Harris. Also, we mentioned earlier, he's one of the athletic administrators for St. Thomas. So he and Coach Walker were part of the reason this game was pushed back a little bit later than originally expected.
Yeah, we originally had a 2-4 game, if I do recall the original schedule.
There's a turnaround jump shot. That basket is good by 23, Dwayne Russell. And St. Thomas out to a quick 4-0 lead. Gilchrist with the ball. That's Urbina. Ball is deflected, but Matt comes up with it. Urbina, 7 seconds on the clock. Looking to Mack. Mack, three-point attempt. Good. With a hand in his face, Sam Mack Jr. from Chicago knocks that bucket down. St. Thomas with a 4-3 lead.
If you're looking at that team in white, Florida Memorial, who has the orange numbers with the blue trim, you're going to see a lot of new faces out there this year, Brian.
That was an air ball by Antoine Joe, but Abugaye.
It's like he had his foot on the line when he caught the ball.
Yeah, caught that ball and stepped out of bounds. Again, always interesting transitioning from broadcasting the women to the men. Of course, 2 20-minute halves here in the men's game. And, of course, the size difference.
and above the rim versus below the rim also, Brian.
Yes. Much more physical contest indeed. 15 on the play clock. There's a three-point attempt by Pace. No good. Rebound by Kebe. Abugaye shot that three-point attempt. No good. Rebound was by Pace. He's on the break. Pulls it back out. Decides to shoot the three. Left-hand jump shot. No good. Was he fouled on the three-point line?
I think they're saying it was after the shot, Brian.
Okay.
He had already landed, and then there was context. Also, one other difference, Brian, to notice, the women play with media timeouts. Men in NAIA do not play with media timeouts. They get 6 timeouts, 4 fulls, and 2 30s for the entire game.
That last foul was called on Shake.
And speaking of timeouts, Brian.
And it's a 30-second staying on the floor. That is his first, team second. Team fouls, also a little bit different. You've got the
traditional 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm. And you can't advance. Unless the rule says there's no advancing the ball. Although, what do you think about that rule in terms of, it's what we see in the NBA. You don't see it in men's college. You don't see it in high school. Would you like the rule, in favor of it? Don't like it? What are your thoughts?
I like it for one particular reason. It forces coaches to coach, and you have to be strategic with your timeouts because in order to advance the ball, you have to have timeouts available at the end of the game. And if you have a competitive game at the end, it makes for a real interesting game down the stretch.
Fair point. Sideline inbound for St. Thomas. Ball in the hands of Ellington. Uses the screen. Tried to draw a little contact, and they're going to call Gilchrist.
He succeeded, Brian.
Gilchrist just a little too aggressive guarding Ellington.
Brian, we're talking about rules, and I wish there was one rule I would love to see in high school, Brian. I would love to see them put the arc in high school, the charge block arc under the basket in high school, Brian.
It might be helpful. Let's see. Still a little wet on that floor, though. That's another thing. The mop guy will have to work a little harder in these games, I think.
Yeah.
With the amount of perspiration and bodies that I'm sure will be on the floor all day. So 3 fouls, team fouls committed by Florida Memorial in the first 2.5 minutes of the contest. There's the turnover. Abugaye on the break. Decides to hand it off to Mack. Mack found his teammate in the corner. Gilchrist, what do we have? He stepped out. Back foot.
One thing you'll notice also, Brian, we mentioned it in the first game, there are no fans here today. Yeah, you're probably going to see a lot of that around college basketball this year, empty gyms.
Well, as we've heard the phrase in football, you got to bring your own juice. You got to do that here in basketball. There's a turn. Oh, and they're going to call Abugaye.
He had 2 hands in the back, Brian. That's an automatic whistle right there. Those 2 hands called what would have been a turnover.
2 hands in the back.
Guys, your whistle every day of the week, including on Sundays.
And that is Abugaye's first, team 4. 4 team fouls inside. That ball is stolen. Matt comes up with it, gives it up to Urbina. Urbina pushing up the head into the corner, and did he step out again? He stepped out again. No, wait a minute. He did.
Yes,
he stepped out again. That's the second time that Gilchrist has stepped out of bounds in that corner. You got to know, and this is his home floor. You got to know where you're at on the court as he comes out of the ball game. And number 1, Terrence Clayton, comes in. Clayton, the 6'3 junior from Dothan, Alabama.
That's South Alabama. That's L.A. Down in L.A., Lower Alabama.
Oh, okay, thank you for clarifying. I was going to say L.A. Okay, that's what they called it?
Yes, sir.
Did not know that. Down inside to Jones. And what have we got? Basket interference, possibly? Yes. They're going to say that as a basket interference on Shake.
And if you're wondering why Florida Memorial looks a little rusty and their timing is off, Brian, it's because they haven't practiced at all this week, Brian.
Interesting.
Yes, due to some COVID concerns, on campus, and then you had the hurricane/tropical storm. They also came through South Florida, so they had always safe than sorry in Florida.
Checking in now for Florida Memorial. There he is. Mubashar Ali checked into the ball game. There's a three-point attempt by Mack. No good. All the way up top. Urbina comes up with it. Or check that. No, that was number 23, Tristan Stevens, who had also checked in along with Mubashar. As mentioned earlier, Mubashar Ali, first team preseason all-conference after last season being first team all-conference. Ali, 7 foot, 220. From Helsinki, Finland. Previously went to Southern University before coming over to Florida Memorial last year.
Brian, you mentioned Finland. Have you actually looked at the Florida Memorial roster and look at some of the places where some of these players are from, Brian? You've only got 4 from the state of Florida. You've got Los Angeles, Long Island, New York, the Bronx, New York, Brazil.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the international makeup of the women's team, and the men is just as diverse in terms of where they're from as well.
Yeah, but we got players from 4 continents on this team, Brian.
Jones being guarded by Ali. He goes to the bucket. Used his body quite well on that. Gets that bucket, and St. Thomas with an 8-4 lead.
One continent I did not mention doing all those is we've got one from Ghana, which is on the continent of Africa, Brian.
Nice back cut by Mack, and he's fouled by Jones. Brian, and that will be the first team foul, the first foul on second team foul, correction, on St. Thomas, the first on Jones.
Right, you got somewhere to go tonight? I hope not, because it looks like we're going to have a long first half with 7 fouls called in the first 4 minutes of this game, Brian.
Definitely a different pace than what we previously had. And another free throw, and Florida Memorial getting off to a sluggish start at the free throw line as Mack misses his first of the day. Second attempt for the senior is good. Cuts the deficit to 3. St. Thomas leading 8-5. Tyreek Waite, number 11, had checked into the ball game. That's him with the ball right there. Thought about the 3. Goes into the lane. Left hand floater. Bounces in, around, and in. 10-5 lead for St. Thomas. Picking up a screen and into that corner. That's going to be out of bounds, is it? Yep. Wow, that was a heck of a screen there by Ali. Very solid and clean. Pair of substitutions. Back in for Florida Memorial, 24 Urbina, and I believe for the first time, number 4 Aubrey Washington checks in for Florida Memorial.
And Brian, I have to wonder why Florida Memorial is not really working the ball inside.
Just when you say that, there's, Ali unable to control it, but he manages to gather it up and score it. Right as you said that, that's when the ball went inside on the high-low, and there's the first 2 points for Ali.
Yeah, because I was going to say the tallest player on St. Thomas is sitting at 6'8". So
stolen,
has 4 players
right there. Stevens to the bucket, slam.
Maybe that'll get him going, Brian.
Tristan Stevens, the 6'4 junior from Long Island, New York. And now it's a 1-point ball game for St. Thomas. 2 quick buckets by Florida Memorial. Right back in this game. Wait, inside, reverse layup is good by number 23, Dwayne Russell. And we have a timeout. I believe that is going to be a timeout by St. Thomas. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So I guess we'll stay here on the floor, here in the game rather. 12-9 is our score, Drew.
You know, Brian, I had the opportunity to talk with Ben's head coach, Answer Alamin, on yesterday, Brian, and we saw a portion of that interview pregame. We're also going to run a portion of that interview during the halftime of this game also, Brian. So make sure that for all those people watching this on Facebook, YouTube, and every place else, make sure that you stay tuned and watch that. Also, Brian, why don't you tell everybody about our sports rap show? I always get him with that.
I love how you just throw that one to me. I'm going to go back to the ball game. 14-51.
You get that during the next break.
I got you. 12-9, St. Thomas lead. On the right wing is Clayton. Clayton finds Urbina. Driving, trying to find Ali. He's in the middle of the lane. Driving to the bucket, left hand. Number 23, Tristan Stevens with another good bucket at the rim. 1-point ball game. Florida Memorial trailing by 1.
Stevens said, y'all watch Ali all y'all want to. I think I'm going to make y'all come out and respect me.
Well said.
Great help defensive way to get back.
Oh, and there's a late whistle, but that was a good call, it looks like you're saying.
It was the right call.
Russell.
Yeah, you had your hands up, but you had your body on them.
And I guess we have a timeout. Looks like we do have a timeout.
We do have media timeout.
All right, so we'll take a break with 14-13 to play in the contest. Florida Memorial 11, St. Thomas 12. We'll be back right after these words.
Have you had your Earth Blend coffee today? At Earth Blend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earth Blend Coffee.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
$14-13 to play in the first half. Coming out of the timeout, St. Thomas with a 12-11 lead over Florida Memorial. And number 23, Dwayne Russell, shooting 2 after the foul by Tristan Stevens on the shot attempt.
First one is up and good.
Florida Memorial has committed 16 fouls. So as you talked about, Drew, the length of this first half may get drawn out, especially on any common fouls that occur.
Whoa, that was a little close there.
I didn't know what I just saw, but I guess
Hey, like I always say, ugly does not mean illegal, Brian.
There's Stevens.
That was
turn
definitely
around.
ugly.
Ali gets the rebound. He gets back up. No. That looked like it went off of Urbina's hands. It did. St. Thomas ball. Stevens had a nice look, unable to make that basket fall.
You know, Brian, we talked about the size that Florida Memorial has over St. Thomas, but believe it or not, St. Thomas is outscoring them 10-6 in the paint in the early going of this game, Brian.
Not a good sign. I'm sure Coach Alamin's not happy about that. That's a nice quick move by Russell.
Make that 12.
As he scored that bucket on Ali. And you have to be that quick, I imagine. If you're slow with that, That shot is going to get blocked. Ball in the hands of Clayton.
Especially when you got all those trees like Memorial has. Like
Inside, there's
has.
Ali. All the way back up top to Clayton. There's Stevens at the free throw line. No good. Unable to come up with that rebound was Ali, and St. Thomas is back on the break. Ball in the hands of Tyreek Waite.
And I didn't catch who that was, but he boxed about up under the rim. So
he did.
That's a great box out.
So dribble handoff here by St. Thomas around the perimeter, taking their time. Under 10 seconds on the play clock. Waite gets a screen from Russell. Fighting through that was Clayton. Lots of pressure on the ball. Tried to draw the foul. No good. Rebound. Great defensive possession by FMU. Back comes Urbina. Finds Clayton. Driving into the lane. What are they going to say, on the floor?
Yes. He's going to take it out of the baseline, Brian.
Lots of substitutions about to come in here in just a moment. They're going to call that on number 11, Tyreek Waite. Substitutions.
Group substitution in for the Lions.
For Florida Memorial.
13,
number 12, Mack, comes back in. Number 0, Gilchrist, comes back in.
And Flomo doesn't realize that it's still that ball.
And 14, Abugaye, checks in. So each team, I think, made 3 substitutions there. 12:36 to play. Inbound to Mack on the left wing. St. Thomas in a 2-3. More of a matchup zone. Definitely not staying down. Let's see what it calls.
That's got to be a block.
As Mack drives to the bucket. Did that basket go in? The basket went in, though. That was a nice move by Mack. He drew the charge, or drew the blocking foul. That was on number 11. No, check that. That was 24. Kieran Millwood for St. Thomas, who was called for that. His first, team fourth. Mack shooting the and one.
And Brian, I guarantee you he would never hit that shot like that ever again.
I'll give him a little more credit than that, Drew.
I mean, it was
nice control and body control there. Nice composure as well. 16-14. St. Thomas with a 2-point lead over the Lions. Trying to get the ball inside to Jones. And on the backside,
weak side
all by himself, number 24, Millwood. 4-point lead.
No weak side rebounding right there, Brian. That was a breakdown of that play.
Urbina on the right side of the floor, over to Gilchrist. Gilchrist trying to set that offense. They'll probably run a little high-low option here. Mack off the screen, going right. Nice floater, and get that one to fall. 5 straight points for Sam Mack coming off the bench. 2-point deficit for the Lions. Driving left side all the way off the rim. No good by that basket by Pace was no good, and then Pace commits the foul.
You got to like the energy from Mack, Brian. You know, he just hit that shot. Every time something's good, he's going through. He's pumping up his teammates. Brings a lot of energy to this game. Looks like.
Well, you need a few guys on every roster that's willing to get. Maybe that's what he needs to get himself going, but also gets guys going. And the more guys that can root on each other, the more opportunities you can. There's Mack for deep. No good off the back of the rim. Loose ball. They're going to say that ball went out of bounds off of Sheikh Kebe. It'll be the Bobcats' ball. 11:15 remaining in the first half. Bringing the ball up the court for St. Thomas with number 1, Ellington. Checked in is number 35, Jacob Ray, right there with the ball. Ellington trying to come up with it. Inside to Jones again. Double team, and there's a charge. As Quincy Urbina did a great job of getting himself in the right spot, and when Jones turned away from the defender, he turned right into Urbina.
Well,
That is Jones' second foul, and now both teams have 6.
Yeah. Next foul either way is going to mean free throws.
St. Thomas in a 2-2-1, dropping it all the way back into their 2-3. Gilchrist for 3, no good. Rebound St. Thomas. Ellington on the right wing, tried to get into the lane. Ball moves, find its way. What we got? We got a moving screen. I think they're going to call that on 35.
Except if it's a team control foul.
Yeah, Jacob Ray was moving. He tried to set 2 different screens and got caught moving all over the place. Checking into the ball game, number 30, Andrew Drugan. Andrew Drugan, 6'4" junior from Hollywood, Florida. Another local product. Went to Chaminade Madonna Prep.
One of only 4 players from the state of Florida on this roster, Brian.
That's Drugan driving left, runs into a little bit of traffic. Aggressive move, gets blocked from behind. That block was by Russell. He sprinted down the floor, looking for the ball inside. Nope, Ellington doesn't give it to him. All the way back out. Ball in the hands of Antoine Joe. Guarded up top, looking. Ellington, he stepped on the back line. Well, that's the 3rd time we've seen that.
2 for Flobo, 1 for Thomas.
(10-10) in the first half. Florida Memorial take their time getting it across half-court line. Ball in the hands of number 4, Aubrey Washington. They're going to set the offense up.
You know, Aubrey sat out last year due to injury, so, you know, this is the first time he's played in 2 years there, Brian.
Substitution for St. Thomas. Number 3, Lee Richmond, checked in the ball game. And I believe we have a break. So with 9:49 left to play in the first half, Florida Memorial trailing by 2. You're watching Florida Memorial basketball on the Black College Sports Network.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Avers' record. 202 and 36, I think. Some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
Over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. Whites were sitting in the west stands, and the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
The human voice is
Back to live action here at Florida Memorial. 9:49 to play. Florida Memorial ball deep in their corner, all the way back up top in the hands of Sam Mack, leading all scorers right now with 9. There's a deep 3 by Washington, no
2
good.
seconds on the shot clock.
Had to get rid of that one. You would have liked to see him get that ball probably a little closer to the lane. Off the screen is Joe, and what are they going to say? Foul on Washington?
Yeah, got a little bit 2 hands right there, Brian.
Foul on number 4, Aubrey Washington. The senior from Jacksonville, Florida, went to Broward College. And you mentioned, Drew, his first action in over a year, correct?
Correct.
Well, good to see that young man back on the floor. And at the line, Antoine Joe.
Also, playing for the first time in 2 years, and at the start of the day was Abagaye. He was out last year due to injury also. So, among those 9 players that we have that are new to the squad this year, 2 of them are actually returning from injury.
Interesting difference in this game versus the previous in the first half. There's that first free throw gives St. Thomas a 3-point lead. St. Thomas, we've actually overall only had 1 3-point shot made by either team. And that 3-point attempt no good by Drugan. Rebound, St. Thomas on the move. Joe, ball's in the hands of Lee Richmond. Being guarded up top by Urbina. Richmond tries to go back into the lane. Drops it down to Pace. And check that, that's Jacob Ray. Ray with the bucket. Gives St. Thomas a 5-point lead. Mack gives it over to Washington. They'll look to try to set the offense.
Running a little
dribble
handoff
handoff
up top.
Drugan. Now, what I'm surprised at is when Drugan is driving baseline, that nobody in the middle is flashing into the lane. The lane is wide open, and I was just watching Sheikh Kebe, and he was kind of hanging out a little further outside the free throw line. If he would slide down a little bit, I got to imagine there's an opening there for him to help his teammate out.
Well, also, you got to see somebody on in that opposite corner, flash into that opposite corner to give him options, not only to go down the middle, but to kick the ball across to the corner.
Shot attempt by Richmond was no good. Back come the Lions. Urbina. Mack for 3. No good. Rebound by Stevens. He gave it over to Urbina. Swinging around the horn. Washington will shoot the 3. No good. Rebound by Russell for St. Thomas.
At what point, Brian, do you say lay off the threes?
Well, there's an inside basket.
1 for 10 right now.
There's Dwayne Russell with a basket, and there's a timeout by, I believe that's going to be by Coach Alameen, who will take that timeout. I will answer that question for you, Drew, when we come back from this break. Our score, St. Thomas 23, Florida Memorial 16. You're watching Florida Memorial basketball on the Black College Sports Network.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeaversVoice.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show. Back to live action here at Florida Memorial University. 7:58 to play in the first half. The Lions trailing by 7. I believe this is the largest lead of the game for St. Thomas. Back into the ball game.
Flobo has not had the lead in this game, this young action here, Brian.
Mubashar Ali checked back in, and what we were talking about, Drew, is finding a way to attack the middle of this zone. Looks like a bit of a 1-2-2 or either a 3-2 zone by St. Thomas. There's Ali up top. They're going to call him for traveling. And that's got to be frustrating for Coach Alameen. Coming out of the timeout, you commit a turnover, an unforced turnover. Those are the frustrating ones right there, especially, and I know he drew up probably a great play, a great set, and it gets ruined. I know those are the frustrating ones right there.
And it looked like they was going to get the ball to Ali. He was going to kick it to the wing and then dive down to the low box and try to get the ball back.
Driving to the rim. Basket no good by Richmond. Back comes Mack on the break. Mack behind the back dribble into the lane. Nice move, and Sam Mack continues to put FMU on his back right now with his 11th basket. 11th point of the contest. 23-18 lead for St. Thomas. Nice fake there by Richmond. Unable to get that one to fall. Rebound by Mack. Up ahead to Mubashar. Left side. That ball is stolen away from him, and that's always going to be a problem. Big 7-footer gets stolen by Lee Richmond, who is a 6'1 guard. From out of your neck of the woods, Drew, St. Louis, Missouri. Went to Christian Brothers College High School and Jacksonville University.
You know who else used to go to Christian Brothers High School in St. Louis, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good friend, rest in peace. Good friend, Cliff Reed.
Yes, sir.
And Richmond at the line after that steal on Ali. That was Ali's first. This is a 1-and-1. And that one bounces around and in.
And also, somebody from St. Louis can correct me on this. I think Larry Hughes went to Christian Brothers High School in St. Louis, former Sixer.
I always thought Hughes went somewhere in East St. Louis.
No, he went to high school in St. Louis.
In St. Louis, okay. Second one is good by Richmond. And
I know he went to one of those Catholic high schools.
Checking back in for St. Thomas, Tyreek Waite and Amon Ellington checks out. And St. Thomas picks up in their 2-2-1. Ali in the middle of the floor. Stevens. Into the ball game was number 2, Murad Berrien. There's a three by Mack. No good. That was deflected out by Stevens. Might have missed that substitution when he came in. Murad Berrien, the freshman from Tampa, Florida.
I'll tell you what else was missed, Brian. Ali wide open in the middle of that play, man, as that ball was swung around.
Off the screen is Pace into the lane, looking for a teammate, goes off his leg. That was off the leg of number 12, Daniel Coulter Jr. Florida Memorial ball. Yeah, at some point, somebody has to make the conscious decision to put that ball inside and try to score points inside. The height advantage has to be exploited. And there's a drive to the bucket, and he's fouled. There's Berrien. I'm seeing a lot of one-on-one drives right now by Florida Memorial and not much ball movement. Only 3 assists in the contest by Florida Memorial. I mean, to be honest, only 4 for St. Thomas, so not going to make that too much of a big deal.
St. Thomas also has the advantage at the free throw line, although Flobo has hit the lone three-point shot of the game. Flobo 1 for 11, St. Thomas 0 for 3.
Quantity versus quality?
It looks like it today.
Second free throw attempt for Berrien. Rolls out. And the Lions trail by 6. 6:21 to play in the first half. Coming into the top of the key, it's blocked by Ali. Russell thought about it. He said, I'm going to challenge the big guy.
Put some baked beans and some potato salad on that plate at the block party, Brian.
There's Pace with the ball. Coulter driving, gives it back over to Russell. No good. Rebound by K-Bay. He pushes it up. Shows off his handles a little bit before deciding to give it up. They're swinging the ball into the right corner. Down low to Ali. Turn, fake, turnaround jump shot. No good.
I love the position that he got the ball. I do not like the shot selection once he grabbed the ball, Brian.
I'm not a fan of the fadeaway jump shot by the 7-footer.
Not when you have a 5-inch height advantage, Brian.
And good defensive play there by Murad Berrien, who closed out, forcing that turnover. 25-19. Yeah, I can imagine that being a point of emphasis for Coach Alameen. Ali set a good screen there. K-Bay in the corner. Ali on the low block to see if anybody wants to give it to him. Nope. Into the lane, and No, they're going to say that is on the floor. That was Terrence Clayton going into the lane, and they're going to say he was fouled.
It looks like Clayton was going to pass the ball until he heard the whistle and then decided to throw the ball at the rim.
Oh, yeah. Smart decision. Might as well.
But it's still going to be a 1-on-1. They didn't buy the act right there.
Daniel Coulter committed that foul for St. Thomas, his first, team 9th. 1-1, no good by Clayton. And Florida Memorial, 4 of 8 at the free throw line right now. A little extra contact there. What are they going to call? Offensive! And another great defensive play by Berrien. That is the second consecutive offensive turnover, or we could say great defensive play that he has made in forcing a turnover.
5'10", 155 pounds, Tampa, Florida. Surge Christian Academy.
Hey, right now he's playing. He's the spark plug guy right now, playing great defense. Now, if the offense can get going, the defense is what's keeping Florida Memorial in this ball game, most definitely. While the offense will eventually pick up, I'm sure. See if they can attack the middle of that zone. Shake over to Clayton. Clayton, there's check that. That's Stevens in the middle of the lane.
Great crossover.
It's blocked. Got to get a ball up. Unable to get. If he would have given that ball to Ali, who was open, but unable to make that basket. And let's see, coming across is Russell. Or check that. That's Millwood, number 24. Driving left is Coulter. It's nearly stolen. Pace comes back up with it. Shoots that ball left hand. No good. And let's see, stepping out of bounds was Terrence Clayton for Florida Memorial. It'll stay on that end of the floor for St. Thomas. Again, the defense continues to be very impressive for Florida Memorial, and that's what's keeping them in this ball game. They're only down 6. Shake. If he'd have turned around, he would have saw that one. Millwood into the lane. And on the break, here they go. Lost his footing, Clayton did. Let's see if he calls timeout. Let's see what they call. Let's see what they call. Ooh, look at his right shoulder. It's a little extra here.
Whoa. We got an ejection. We're going to have an ejection, Brian.
Oh, no.
We're going to have an ejection. We had one come off the bench for St. Thomas.
Did we
make
really?
Make that two that just came off the bench for St. Thomas.
Okay, let's hold on a second. Let's see. Drew, you caught, who were the numbers?
I caught 11 and 20. I believe that was 23 that came off the bench for St. Thomas.
And you can see a couple of teammates. So we got 23. Well, what I think I saw in defense of the Florida Memorial players is you had to tie up. Yeah. Clayton's on the floor, and I mean, I'm not going to lie. Look at the body weight difference between Clayton, who's 180, and Jones, who's 6'8". Now I don't have his weight, but he's a big guy.
He's at least 250, bro.
Yes, so I mean, he rolled on the arm and the body of Clayton, and it just seemed to be a little bit extra. And as they're trying to break up the pile, it seemed that, cooler weren't there. And of course, we get the beautiful Jeopardy music to kind of,
one of those songs that I love
to kind of calm everybody down.
Let's go back to the original thing. We either had a kickball or a alternating possession, because the ball did go off of the St. Thomas player's leg, but there's only a kickball if it's intentional. So
11. It looks like coach is telling, yes, you're right. Number 11.
And I saw 23.
Oh my goodness! And in terms of statistics,
and 23 is Dwayne Russell, who has 10 points and 2 of 2 on the free throws.
That is a big loss for St. Thomas. And then number 11.
I did catch him. 11 and 23.
And Waite, who's only has 2 points and has 2 assists.
And let's do one thing, Brian. Let's credit the official who was the furthest away from the play for doing his job, and immediately somebody has to get the benches and notice, see if any players come off the bench. And because of where that happened in the middle of the floor, one referee has to get over there and try to do what he can to get the players separated. The other one comes in for help, but somebody has to watch the benches, and he did his job.
This is the disadvantage of the social distance chairs, because you normally have officials that are doing what? Or the assistant coaches that are near
Right.
the head coach, and somebody would have caught those two guys.
Like Mama used to do when you
Somebody would've
slammed
got
on the
snatched.
brake, and she used to throw the arm back
Yes.
like before
Yes.
we wore seatbelts. And we should have 4 free throws also for the technical fouls.
Let's see. They're making the announcement now as the technical fouls have been assessed. Right now, shooting at the line is number 13, Sheikh Kebe. I'm assuming he's shooting 2. First one is good. Now, the question is, are they double technicals?
Multiple technicals, not double.
Okay, multiple technicals.
Okay.
So the technical was for the, ejections, or they coming off the bench?
But he said there were technicals assessed to both teams.
Correct.
But with I'm assuming there were 2 technicals assessed to St. Thomas, only 1 technical assessed to Florida Memorial, which led to the free throw discrepancy, which means we had to go and shoot the 2 on the other end. Because 4 free throws versus 2, you wash out the ones that are common, and then you go shoot whatever's left over.
4:26 in the first
Write
quarter,
this down.
where you had 2 players ejected, including number 23.
Including 12 of the 25 points in this game for St. Thomas have just gone to the locker room, Brian.
That's a tough break for St. Thomas. All right, well, this could be an opportunity for the Lions. Let's see if can they take advantage of it. Urbina in the middle of the zone. Unable to get that one to fall, but he was on a loose ball. Nope, unable to come up with it. Pushing up the floor is Richmond. Richmond gives it over to Antoine Joe. Pace, deep three-pointer, no good. Unable to come up with that rebound. Tip out, there's Berrien. On the break, pushing up on the right side, and goes out of bounds on Pace. You know, more importantly, that three-point attempt by Pace, nobody was there to rebound. And it was fortunate for Florida Memorial that turned into a missed basket by St. Thomas. But again, the defense continuing to hold St. Thomas at 25. I don't know how long they've been stuck at 25, Drew. There's a steal by Pace on the deflection off the pass by Mack. That is Antoine Joe. Let's see, no inside. Pace for 3 points, no good. Another rebound. Let's see, can Florida Memorial come up with it? What do they have here? On the sideline, out of bounds on Pace.
Good call, good call. The ball had bounced on the sideline first. 2 other quick points about this incident that we just had, Brian. A, this is a conference matchup, so let's see what conference steps in and adds any addition, if they add any additional time to those 2 players from St. Thomas.
Urbina into the lane, skip to Mack. 3-point attempt, good. Sam Mack knocks down a 3, and it's a 1-point deficit now. And that is just the second 3-pointer, and I believe Mack made the other one as well. And there's a charge.
All day, every day, including Sunday.
And then.
Nah, they've got to be careful about that. That could be considered taunting. Although that would be good in the NFL.
Well, wait a minute. I was talking about the teammate coming over to help his teammate up, and he slipped.
I thought he went down and was mimicking him, like you do with the NFL celebration.
Oh, wow. Okay. No. I thought he went down. He tried to help his teammate up, and then he slipped. So now you got 2 players on the floor.
All right, then. I take back my statement there, Brian.
3:05 to play in the first half. The momentum has shifted to Florida Memorial. There's Mack again for 3. No good. Rebound by 24 Millwood. Overhead, up ahead. Coming up on the left side is Richmond. Into the lane.
There's another
charge. And this time they call a block. His feet must have been.
He pointed to the circle. He said his feet were not outside of the circle.
I was going to say, because he had good position. That was the only thing that could have been on that play.
Yes. He pointed to when he gave the block signal, he pointed to the circle.
Now, that is the disadvantage of the circle, because in I mean, obviously we have it in college, but if that circle is not there, that is probably a charge.
Look, make it easy for the referee. Make sure that he's able to see clear space between the back of your heels and the top of that circle.
Well, look.
6 inches further, half step further. You got to know where you are on the floor, Brian.
Shake K-Bay, 6'9". He's probably sitting on size 16 feet. I mean, I'm sure 15 of those inches were outside of the arc, and the 1 inch his heel is sitting on the line. Come on.
So Brian, what you gonna say when I have my foot on the line when I shoot a tray? It is a 21-foot 2-pointer.
Uh-oh, wait a second. What do we have here? A technical foul has been called on number 24, Quincy Urbina. He must have said something to the official.
And you almost expected I was gonna bring that point up after what happened on the floor, but with the two ejections, expect tighter whistles. And before I could get it out there, they're talking trash to each other, Brian. And obviously he said the wrong word to the wrong person, and the official heard it. Now it might have been about the call, Brian, or it might have been about the other player.
So let's see, Richmond.
He just shot for 2 technicals. Now he's going to put the ball back in play with the last of the.
So he didn't finish. I thought they would have finished the second free throws.
In college, you put it in, then you return, then you go to resumption of play, which would have been the second free throw.
Interesting rule. St. Thomas picks up full court and unable to inbound that ball clearly. That ball goes off the hands of number 5, Corin Bradley Jr., who had checked into the ball game. Stevens was trying to get, you never like to go deep into the corner. You got to give yourself some room.
That was my point.
He didn't help the inbounder out on that. So the ball goes back to St. Thomas. Trying to overcome 2 ejections from 2 key contributors, and then call a foul.
Quick whistles.
Yeah, at this point you can see the officials are not letting the game get out of control. And given the fact that both teams are in a double bonus, I mean, I think both teams ought to be a little more aware of that at this point in the game. And back to the line goes Lee Richmond. And that one rolls in. Richmond 4 of 5 right now at the free throw line. That's where all of his points have come from today. And that one comes up short. Rebound by Stevens. 2:38 to play. Back up, so it had got down to a 1-point ball game, but basically off of free throws, St. Thomas builds back up a 5-point lead. 29-24. Dribble handoff, Stevens. I thought about getting a screen from Mack, and let's see what they call now. There's a foul. Ball was almost stolen by number 24, Karen Millwood. And that's going to send Mack to the free throw line. Sam Mack Jr., 14 points in the contest. Leading all scorers at this point in the game, shooting 2. First one is clean as a whistle.
And Brian, and this is totally off the game, but I'm looking over at the St. Thomas bench, and if you notice on the bench, everybody on the bench has face shields on.
Interesting.
All the subs have face shields on as they come out of the game, and obviously they're going to their own personal seat so they can leave their face shield on the seat when they come into the game. So everybody's doing these things a little bit different as we try to continue to play this game that we call basketball and play it safely given the conditions that we have in our country right now.
Sam Mack makes the second free throw, 29-26, St. Thomas lead. 2:15 to play in the first half. Richmond pull up, 3 at the free throw line, comes up short. Stepping into the rebound, that is Washington. He's on the break. Kicks it over to Mack. Mack, pull up 3, no good. Deep rebound in the corner by Gilchrist. Gives it back to Mack. He drives baseline. Reverse layup with the left hand, and Sam Mack makes that.
Comes up a little ginger.
Calls for a sub. Let's see if they can get a sub for him here.
Like
the corner.
Stevens to the table.
I tell you, the defense right now from Florida Memorial keeping them in. It's down to a 1-point ball game. There's Richmond. That shot rolls in and out. No, Ali comes up with that rebound and almost throws it a little further for Mack. Remember, Mack is kind of hobbling. Let's see if he gets some energy here on offense. You're never that hurt when you got the ball in your hands on offense.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Shake driving right, and this is going to be a good opportunity for that substitution as he will go to the line to shoot 2.
You know, Mack leading Memorial with 18 of their 28 points at this point in time, and the 2 key players coming into the game, Ali and KB, have 4 points between them, Brian.
First basket is good, and we have a tie ball game for the first time since the tip-off. 1:11 to play, 29-29. So it's been a long road traveled for Florida Memorial to get back to this point, and they have a chance to take their first lead of the game. And it's in, 30-29, and right there, Coach Alameen will take a timeout, a 30-second timeout with the lead, 1:11 to play. First of the ball game, and any interesting stats that you see, Drew, that's been a part of this comeback?
2 technical fouls to 1.
There it is.
That's the stat of the day right now, Brian. But in all seriousness, St. Thomas is still leading with points in the paint, 18 to 12, Brian. Also, St. Thomas 7 points off of turnovers compared to Flobo's 3 points off of turnovers.
If I'm not mistaken, Drew, Florida Memorial's on a 9-4 run since that technical. It was 25-21, if I'm not mistaken, at that point in the game.
Yes,
so 9-4 right now, closing out the half. Let's see. There's Richmond going to the lane. Nope, gives it over. Oh, there's a 3-point attempt. No good. That was Richmond. Correction on those players. Washington
Got away with a walk right there.
Stevens
1 minute
at
to
the
go.
top of the key. Over to Shake. Shake down low to Ali. Let's see if he goes jump hook. Nice soft touch. Rolls around and in. And
that's exactly why he's on the radar, right?
Mubashar Ali puts Florida Memorial up by 3. 11-4 run since the technicals and 2 ejections of a pair of St. Thomas players. There's a deflection by Stevens. Washington on the move. Avoids the contact. All kinds of arms and bodies going up, but Stevens comes up with it and he puts it back in.
Washington's got to give that back. He's got 3 trailers on that play.
Big trailers, too.
Everybody who's trailing him is at least 6'5". Let's get some Thanksgiving stuff in early.
Give it up. Brian. That's got to be a travel. As Lee Richmond tried to make, no, check that. That was 1. Amon Ellington.
4 seconds to go.
Now, if he had somehow kept his dribble and come out of that roll on the floor, we might have seen the play of the year right there. But only on the street courts do you see that move. Was he across half court? Yeah, I guess he had made it across half court. But anyway, that 3-point attempt by Gilchrist was no good. So Florida Memorial closes on a 13-4 run to end the first half, following a pair of ejections of St. Thomas players. And at the half, the Lions have a 34-29 lead. Coming up during this halftime break, AD's conversation with Florida Memorial head coach and Sir Alameen, and then Drew and I will come back to talk about the statistics from the first half. You're watching Florida Memorial basketball on the Black College Sports Network.